We need to talk about. This is something that's not going to be popular, but conduitforaction.org has this has an article that they have hit a moral nerve, and it's something that we all need to talk about. Even among those folks on the left who claim to be Republicans, who believe in the phony economic development, even the Democrats who claim, who believe that economic development is Arkansas taking an existing Arkansas business's taxpayer dollars and giving it to a private company, having them move here with the hopes that they create jobs someday. And then, of course, the politicians get to take the credit for creating the jobs when they haven't even been created yet. I think there's a broader issue here. Conduit for Action has brought it up when it comes to China. When it comes to China. Arkansas Economic Plan, jobs from China, a.k.a. destroyer of churches. This is a real conversation I do believe we need to have. High Arkansas taxes have consequences. According to the Tax Foundation, Arkansas is one of the higher tax states in the nation. Arkansas's high taxes make it difficult to attract new businesses. This means Arkansas must rely on incentives, giving away money to attract business, and you pay the bill. The big economic news in 2017 was Governor Asa Hutchinson's trips to China and announcements that, thanks to financial incentives you pay for, Chinese businesses will open manufacturing plants in Arkansas. With Arkansas's high taxes and Governor Asa Hutchinson supporting more taxes, which he does, apparently Arkansas's current best hope for adding jobs in Arkansas is to give away your tax money as incentives to businesses from China. Sorry, I had to get a little coffee. Not that I need any more today. I was talking to, by the way, I was talking to a guy who used to be in radio. He was saying he would drink like 14, he had like a 9 to noon show, and he would drink like 14 cups of coffee, but he didn't know that his producer was actually switching him to decaf after like the first hour. Like, wow, that's like, that's some deception right there. The big economic news in 2017. Okay, we know that. Money to businesses from China. Here is what the best hope looks like. The Chinese government recently destroyed the Golden Lampstand Church, which was a Christian church reportedly having 50,000 members. The destruction of the church is not an isolated event. For example, in late December, the Chinese destroyed a Catholic church in the same province. And you can look at this video. It's from The Guardian, and there are many videos, of the Chinese government destroying churches. Now, why do they destroy churches over there? Well, it's because they believe that the gospel of Jesus Christ is the enemy to their authority. And it is. Let me say that again. It is. In this country, we established our country in part with the Declaration of Independence that says that our rights come from God, from a creator, that we're endowed with certain unalienable rights, among these life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, okay? That is something very rare in human history, where America established our country in a form of humility compared with other countries. We said that the state does not have the ultimate power on this earth. We said that God is sovereign over it. He is sovereign over man. He is sovereign over our rights, that he has endowed us with certain freedoms, with certain rights, okay? That is how we founded our country. And now, thanks to Asa, we're going to do business with China that destroys churches. And it's very important for you to understand why they destroy churches. They destroy churches because a belief in a higher power means that you believe in something that's greater than the state. And that is something that communism cannot abide by. You know how You know how we say that Sharia law over in the Middle East and the United States Constitution that is about equal protection for everybody and freedom and that sort of stuff and limiting government, how Sharia law and the Constitution cannot coexist governing the same society, and it can't. Well, neither can a people that believe that man is his own God and men form a government and the government decides what the values of a society are. That cannot abide in the United States Constitution ever. Now, we have found a bridge, and that bridge is money. That bridge is profit. That bridge, in this case, with Asa, is political capital to be able to stand in front of the drooling reporters who are just going to write down Asa Hutchinson and the Chinese, and there's going to be 30,000 jobs created in the next 10 years, or whatever they say, okay? That's the bridge. Somehow, we don't really care about them destroying churches as long as we're going to benefit financially and economically from it. Now, again, I told you this is going to hit a moral nerve. It's going to make a lot of people upset because they don't like this kind of stuff even being brought to the forefront. But it certainly does need to be talked about because, again, America was established in humility. Maybe we're not so humble now, but we were. We had a lot of our founding fathers. In fact, most of them were theologians, okay? And you probably kind of have to be if you're going to sign a document that means that if you fail in your revolution, you're going to be drawn and quartered, okay? So just think about that for a second, right? How many of our current politicians would even dare to sign their own death warrants for freedom and liberty? Most of them, and most of them down at the Marble Palace, would be redcoat sympathizers, period. Okay? That's just the world we live in today. They would protect the status quo at all costs because they don't want to risk their lives and they don't want to risk their fortunes. And they don't really care anything about honor because it's the Marble Palace and we're still running on the fumes of the Clinton machine. Here in Arkansas, they refuse to reform it. So instead of relying on businesses from places that destroy churches and persecute Christians, Arkansas needs to reduce taxes to make it an attractive place for American businesses to locate. How about that, Asa? For Arkansas businesses to grow and a better place for people to work and live. That sounds like a great idea. Yet Arkansas is still on the path of maintaining high taxes or ever increasing or even increasing them. For example, Governor Asa Hutchinson insisted that tax relief for military retirement pay be funded by imposing other taxes on Arkansans. Then he went even farther and used the bill as an excuse to raise millions more and used the legislation as an excuse to send another $9 million to shore up Medicaid and his Obamacare Medicaid expansion. Governor Hutchinson still wants to impose an internet sales tax and more taxes on gasoline and diesel fuel. Meanwhile, Arkansas legislators continue to collect pay for attending Little Rock meetings on the Tax Reform and Relief Legislative Task Force, but the task force is not focused on reducing the overall burden in Arkansas, and there are sources to back that up. Mainly, Speaker of the House Jeremy Gillum's opening statement the first day the task force met. Same plan, high taxes, and giving tax dollars away to attract businesses from a country that is the destroyer of churches. Arkansas's high taxes have consequences. Tax and spend politicians are counting on you to let them stay in office and continue high taxes. Wouldn't it be easier to lower taxes and say no to China? Right? Maybe we need a Just Say No campaign. Just say no to Chinese businesses coming over here who have completely different values than us. We got to take a break. Back in a minute.